Hey Leo, welcome to your weekly forecast for August 18th through, no, not 19th, August 19th through the 25th. We're going to connect here and see what's coming up for Leo's sun, moon, and rising. We have our ocean mermaid theme continued here, guys. It's our second to last mermaid themed reading. Next week will be our last mermaid reading, and then it'll be on to a new theme because we're leaving summer. Can you believe it? All right, so this is going to be for Leo's sun, moon, and rising. See what's coming up in the week ahead. After we look at these cards, I'm going to pull a spirit message for you from a different deck, so stay tuned for that. Here's your Monday, Tuesday, your Wednesday, Thursday, and your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Gemini. Nope, Leo. Some of you are already in the comments. Is this a Gemini reading or a Leo reading? Why did you say Gemini? This is for Leo. Leo, hey, what's going on, Leo? Busy bee. Some of you are getting people pregnant. Some of you are pregnant. That is one of the meanings of the Empress card. Okay, there could definitely be a pregnancy or a baby on the way in a very literal sense for some of you. But this can also be symbolic. This can also be symbolic. This can be where you are giving birth to a business or a dream that's becoming a business that brings you a lot of pleasure and joy. That gives you a chance to be creative, something that maybe is nurturing, okay? So maybe some of you are doing something like coming into the care industry or catering to people in some way, or nurturing or nourishing them in some way, or just doing something very artistic and very expressive. I love the Empress card because it has a lot of layers to it and it has a lot of meanings. This is a general reading, my dear, so it's going to apply to you in different ways. Some of you are having a really big crossroads right now where you're coming into your seat of power. And you are realizing that the sky is the limit here, and that kind of like the work of your hands is flourishing. So I do feel that a lot of you are expanding. Like maybe you started out with a career goal or a business idea, and now it's expanding and it's becoming much bigger than what you had initially anticipated. It's becoming something that could even potentially at some point for you be like an empire or a dynasty, for some of you. I would invite you to take a look at this card and see what's jumping out at you and what it kind of means for you. And then from there, you're receiving a little bit more personal messages for you because that's your intuition speaking to you or you connecting. I do feel with the Empress card, especially with that star is jumping out at me, the star overhead, you are being guided. You are receiving information. You're receiving guidance from loved ones who've passed on or from your guardian angels or from your higher power. That's giving you direction in conquering something. And I don't mean to get too like biblical with you guys. I really don't, because I know people come from different beliefs or different teachings, but it's what was drilled in my head from the time I was very little. Like I learned to read out of a children's Bible, that was just. Sometimes that's my point of reference. I remember the stories and I go, oh, it's like this story. And it gave me a sense or a feeling, like as I was looking at that star and you guys are all thinking about Mary and Joseph. I know you're like, Mary and Joseph following the star. That's not what it made me think of. It made me think of when God told Moses, you're going to go and talk to Pharaoh. And he was like, what? What? Huh? What? And God was like, no, you're going to go talk to Pharaoh and this is what you're going to tell him. And he was like, what in the heck? But like he kept getting pushed. So he went and he did it. But he didn't know how to do it or he didn't know what to do, but God told him. So I feel a lot of you are having a moment like that. Like you're at this really big crossroads and God, higher power, universe, whatever you choose to call it, is telling you what to do right now. I feel like a lot of you are receiving guidance because I feel like whatever this is that you're trying to accomplish is putting you in a position where you're going to be able to do a lot of good in the world. So it's not like God means, or the universe, or higher self, or higher power means to bless you purely from an ego place or a place of ego, but because once you're in this powerful position, or once you have this money and wealth, you're going to do very good and valuable things with it. You know, Leo, you all are very charismatic. A lot of Leos do tend to gravitate towards, like, being famous in some way, or, being on the big screen, or being performers or artists, or, something along those lines. But you all tend to end up in situations where you attract a lot of attention, whether you mean to or not. And now you're working within those natural Leo traits of yours to build something that's going to allow you to be very loving and nurturing and generous to people around you. Because I just see you being in this very nurturing role, or doing something where you're helping a lot of people, your loyal subjects who adore you and love you. There's that feeling or that sense for some of you. Your Wednesday, Thursday card here is... My timer is blocking. It's King of Swords, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, King of Swords. I have a little timer on the bottom of the screen that just goes on its own, and I could not read the writing at the bottom because it's right over the writing. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's King of Swords, but I had to peek. So, my dear Leo, midweek you've got King of Swords. So some of you might be dealing with an air sign male, or an air sign who can be a little masculine, or might have a lot of masculine tendencies in the middle of the week, who's helping you on this path or idea or business. Not necessarily, but for some of you, it can be an air sign person. I don't like to get too hung up on the astrology of the cards, simply because sometimes it could be somebody's moon sign, or their rising sign, or their Venus sign, and we don't typically have that information, right? So this could be somebody that has in their moon or their rising, but their sun sign is something else. So you won't even think it might be them, because you don't know their moon, sun, or rising sign. So I don't like to get too hung up on the astrology or the zodiac signs of the cards for that reason. But here with the King of Swords, a lot of you are dealing with someone, or this could be you, especially if you have air in your moon or in your rising, where you're coming into action. The Empress is like the dream. The Empress is like the creative side. And then the King of Swords is like the business side. It's the go time. It's the, what do I have to lay down for this? The Empress will create something beautiful. The King of Swords will be like, let's copyright this before somebody else takes it away. Or how are we going to distribute this? The King of Swords is like that kind of energy. So it's going from the dream, the creation, the beauty, that creativeness, into the action, or into the go time. The dream is being made realized, and now the King of Swords is, how do we move this dream along? How do we protect it? How do we keep it in the realm of reality? How do we keep it manifested? The King of Swords can also indicate lawyers and attorneys, okay? So lawyers and attorneys are going to be, for some of you, you're having contracts made up, or you are getting something copyrighted, or you're signing some kind of agreement. I don't know why, but I just heard post-nuptial. So maybe some of you got into a marriage and you didn't do a prenup, and now there's some kind of business thing coming up, and now you're like, okay, we need to get this figured out in case you leave or something happens. I want something in writing that's protecting my work. So some of you are going to an attorney, or you're thinking about going to an attorney and figuring out, like, what can I do to protect my hard work in case this relationship doesn't work out, in case this person bounces, or God forbid you decide you don't want to be in it anymore, but you don't want to, have all the hard work that you did, be fighting with your partner for it. So some of you, there is an attorney that's getting involved, or you're seeking legal counsel, for whatever reason. If it's just getting permits and, LLC stuff or whatever it might be. But some of you might have some legal stuff going on. Overall, like I said, King of Swords is action. Action, 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 action. You're making something happen. And for some of you, it can be like a legal partnership where somebody's buying something from you or coming onto a project with you and you guys are signing a legally binding agreement. But this does feel to me like official business, like something is becoming real, something is taking shape. Your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday card is the Hanged Man. Now, don't let this discourage you. People don't like to see this card and they get upset. But I want you to understand something here, Leo. You started the week with a Major Arcana card and you're ending the week with a Major Arcana card. Major Arcana cards are the cards that come up when we're at a really significant crossroads. When we are coming into an energy where you're going to end up having some big life moments, some life lessons, coming into soul purpose, coming into life purpose, like your life mission, that kind of stuff. And when we have the Major Arcana cards come up, a lot of the times, these are divinely inspired moments. And the Hanged Man is a timeout card. It's not a timeout where like you've been naughty and the universe is punishing you and saying go sit in the corner, you don't get to play right now. Not like that. It's not that kind of a timeout. You are about to have a completely different way of living. Okay? You are about to set something very big in motion. And you're manifesting a lot of things. And there could still be a little bit of mental clutter or limited beliefs, or you might be doing some things on autopilot where you're manifesting something on autopilot without even realizing, but it's something you don't even want anymore. So the Hanged Man is a time for you to take a time out, to really look at the situation, really figure out what do you want out of this. What do you like? What is your ultimate end game? What is most important to you? What do you really want? The Hanged Man is that like you're about to submit your order to the universe, and the universe is saying, okay, we're going to pause here for a moment before we accept your order, before we start shipping it out your way. Take a moment and review it. Really make sure. Cross your T's and dot your I's here, or go through and review, is this really what you want? Is there something else you would like to add? The Hanged Man is asking you to see the situation from a different way. Some of you are having a situation where you're kind of feeling very conflicted because I'm hearing that you're realizing the situation or life is not black and white. You're kind of struggling with those gray areas. So there could be something with your conscience that's bugging some of you, or if you are taking something and you're preparing to mass produce it, you're maybe trying to figure out, where do I want to cut corners and where do I want to, incur a little extra expense. You're really kind of weighing what this is and how you're wanting to move forward, okay? We're going to go ahead and take a look at your spirit message here, your spirit card. We're going to use a different deck here. And as always, guys, watch your moon sign and rising sign videos too, because some weeks those may resonate with you more than others. And they might just give you a little extra information. It could be helpful, especially if you can't afford a private reading right now. It can be a way of just getting a little bit more specific information for you. Even though they're general readings, it could be a way of just getting just a little bit more for your planetary makeup and energy. Your spirit message here for the week is have faith. Your prayers and manifesting. Your prayers are manifesting. Remain positive and follow your guidance. So you're going from this energy where things are like boom, 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 boom. You're making stuff happen, coming into agreements, coming into like, how do I make this happen? And then you're hitting this hangman energy where it's like, okay, well, now we're going to wait for this to come back, or now we're going to wait for this to be approved. And you're like, man, like, you were so pumped. But this is saying that this little bit of a delay Have faith. You're going to have what you're manifesting. You're going to have what you're praying for. You're putting it out there. You're creating it. Just continue taking the steps you're feeling guided to take. All right. And you know what's jumping out at me? And again, this is why I always tell you guys to look at the card and the picture and what it's saying to you and how it's speaking to you, because it's speaking to you. It's giving you a message. And you may see the card different from me, because it might have a very difficult specific message, not difficult, a very different specific message for you that might not be coming up in the general reading. But what I am seeing as I'm looking at this card, Leo, you see how she's coming up out of the water and she's just kind of like coming out of this wave and she's just really enjoying the light, and it's just like she's taking this, you know, breath of air and like feeling the wind and just like this moment of freedom. I feel like this time, this Hanged Man time, or this delay, for lack of a better word, is this time for you to come up for air. I feel like you've been working your ass off. I feel like you've been working so hard and really like putting so much in and being very busy and putting in long hours, or really planning constantly, even if you're not physically working, been giving a lot of mental energy to something. And now this is the calm before the storm. Not storm in a negative way, storm in a busy way. And this is the time for you. Enjoy this downtime. Don't freak out saying, man, I wanted to hurry up and be busy. This is your time to come up for air. This is your time to enjoy that sunlight, to enjoy that wind through your hair or on your skin or whatever. Like, this is the time to just kind of take a moment and breathe, because it's going to be very busy soon. There's going to be a lot more waves coming, right? And those waves are going to be higher, and it might be more difficult for you to come out and have playtime, because you're going to be, you know, mastering each wave that comes in. And I feel these waves coming in are going to be waves of work, okay? Waves of like next step kind of stuff. So take this moment and embrace it, enjoy it. Those dark clouds are passing. We're seeing light coming through the clouds. So this is the time for you to just take a moment and enjoy this new energy and take this breath of fresh air before it gets crazy busy for you, Leo. Again, watch your moon sign and rising sign video. You may need a private reading. I'm more than happy to do that for you if you click on the Calendly link in the description of the video. I have readings starting as low as $20, my dears. So if you want to go ahead and schedule a private reading or try out a private reading, there's that option there. And those of you who are like, okay, this was a great, Amethyst, but what about my love life? What about love? I'm here for love. I understand. I feel you. I just do the love reading separate on this channel because sometimes we get so wrapped up in love that we forget about ourselves. And I want you guys to have videos for you, specifically your journey, so you can forget for 15 or 20 minutes about other people and just focus on you and your journey. But the love videos are already up for August, so if you look in the description of the video, you'll see the link for the love videos. So you can go ahead and check those out as well if you haven't already. And again, guys, I thank you so very much for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and I'm wishing you a fabulous week.